Oh, hey, Katrina.
Oh, hi.
Sorry,
I
did the
guess the
meeting already
webinar
start?
started.
Oh, jeez, you caught me texting. Sorry about that.
Oh, it's
No,
the
that's
best way to get a message out, though, isn't it,
definitely
Alonda?
is. It really is. Like, keep those fingers agile, right?
Yeah, it's the best thumb exercises, too. That's what they say. The gym
Mhm.
bros tell us, texting helps the thumbs.
Exactly. Exactly. How are you today, Katrina? It's so great to be here with you.
Oh, I'm doing great. It's a beautiful day. And, we have a new feature that we're going to present today. So
I'm
it's
so
super
excited.
exciting.
Yeah, I
Big
love it.
things for LiveRez.
Yes, definitely. I'm here to support that for sure.
Absolutely. And we're going to give everyone a few minutes to join that signed up for this great webinar introducing the new SMS feature. So I'm really excited. This has been, a new webinar for us to actually introduce a brand new feature to the Ignite system. And a lot of we have matching glasses, which is amazing.
Oh, I love that. That was not planned.
No, no, not at all.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm super
Looks like we
excited about
have.
this feature too. Definitely. I think that this is going to put our partners at a much higher advantage than other PMS have to offer. And I'm excited to dive into it with you and our group here today.
Yeah, and the great thing is instead of paying for another integration, this is one thing you can check off your list because it's going to be included all in one, super inclusive.
I
So
love
I
that.
think we have a good attendance right now with the people who have joined. So we'll go ahead and get started. We won't keep you in anticipation any longer. So we want to present ourselves in our new SMS feature. I do have with me today Alonda Miller. She is one of our partner success managers, and she's absolutely fabulous. She's very attentive to all the partners, and you probably know who she is because she definitely talks with everyone. And I'm Katrina Montgomery. I am our lead of training and development here. So I do help and try to make sure that our training is the best as possible, which is one of the reasons why I'm here on this webinar to show you how some of this works with the SMS and how easy it's going to be to use for you. And I also help with our documentation in the Help Center. So one thing to know is that this webinar will be posted in the Help Center on your community dashboard after this is live. So that way, if you want to share it with your team, you want to revisit it, you will have that opportunity. Now, we're going to have a really packed agenda today, so we'll go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about what is the SMS feature, use case and data scenarios for SMS, how to automate those messages, the benefits of messaging with SMS, the pricing structure, because I know that's probably a question on everybody's mind right now. How much does it cost? And how to get SMS for your Ignite system. Then we're going to have a Q&A at the end. We'll allow for 15 minutes. So one thing I do want to tell you is that since this is a webinar, the chat is disabled, so don't put your questions there. It will not work. There is a Q&A button. If you don't see it on your Zoom screen, please click more. That's the circle with the 3 dots in it, and it'll give you an option for Q&A. Q&A has the text bubble for SMS with a question mark in there. So we can go ahead and get your questions answered live. So, what is SMS? SMS is just an abbreviation for text messaging. It's the ability to send a text message to a guest cell phone. And what are the benefits of, sending an SMS and paying extra for it? Because we already have CRM that are sending those emails. Well, guests are more likely to check their text messaging because their phone it's in their hand all the time, or their back pocket or their purse. Our lives are on our phone. So we're always going to see those notifications when those text messages come through. It's quick, it's effective marketing. You can get information out, you can send promos, you can do pretty much whatever you want. But let's take a moment and we're going to pass it over to Alonda so we can hear more about the benefits of SMS messaging.
Well, like it or not, we're all pretty addicted to our phones, which lends itself at an advantage to us in the vacation rental space because having this direct connection to our guests and team is crucial at this point. And that being said, I just like to throw out a little bit of data that supports that. And I had no idea that some of these things were the disparity between email and text, but 98% of text messages are opened right away compared to only 10% versus on email. And that's really surprising to me because most of us have email on our phones as well, but those text messages just come through so quickly. And not only that, the text messages are read within 3 minutes of being sent. Now, do we reply within 3 minutes? We try to, but they're being read after 3 minutes. Not only that, but the conversion rates are as high as 29% versus 3 for email. And that is huge as well. And then additionally, 78% of all consumers say that texting is the fastest way to reach them, which is also incredibly huge. And so then let's go into what some of the messaging use cases would be. For example, we have booking confirmations and reminders. And I just like to throw in a little personal story that happened to me not long ago. I was checking into a vacation rental. There was no Wi-Fi, and I was having some difficulty trying to find the code to get into the house. And I didn't have accessibility to view my reservation. And so luckily, the person that I'd stayed with thought ahead, had sent me a text message with the code on the text message. And I was able to get into the house because I had a text message with that code on it, which really saved me because we were out in the middle of nowhere. So that was really helpful, great resource to have. It's also going to encourage payment reminders, which is really important as well. Check-in instructions kind of speaks to what I was just saying, having those door codes accessible, just little messages that, things that we might think are no-brainers, but your guests might not be aware of. Also, upsell opportunities. How many of you have been staying somewhere and halfway through, you're like, oh, you know what? I'm going to send a mid-stay clean to this guest because they're on the beach and they're tracking sand into the house and they've got sand in the bed or whatever. And that just gives you that opportunity halfway through your stay to get a text message from the property manager saying, you know what? How would you like us to refresh your home? Also, how about some concierge service, or grandma wants to rent a quad and go right on the beach or something like that. Just those little things that just pop into their lives sporadically that can increase your revenue exponentially. And then we also have early check-in. Sometimes when you're traveling, you arrive to your destination sooner than you think you might, or late checkout. That's the other thing too. When you're trying to wrap up your stay and you're cleaning and you've got the kids and you're trying to plan, you have a late flight, pop that text message over to the guest, talk about a late checkout, and most of the time you're going to sell it. We also have activities that you can add: grocery delivery, babysitting, and real-time customer service reviews and feedback.
Thank you, Alana. That's great. And I love the story that you told, because I know personally, I would probably be a little bit terrified if I'm there in the woods and I can't get a hold of anyone and I can't get in the house. I've heard the Wendigo stories. Okay. So
Yes.
it's really great that you all were able to get in so quickly with the text messaging service. It's almost a matter of safety at that point, at
That's
least
fair.
in my mind.
Yeah. Nothing too
Great.
scary out there, just some cougars, but we were fine. We survived.
Awesome.
Tell the tale.
So creating an SMS template, it's going to be almost exactly the same as when you create a CRM template. If you know CRM, you're already a master at SMS. There's only going to be a few changes. So here you will see your CRM, and you're going to be there in your settings under CRM with your templates. And you're going to now see an SMS tab. So we'll talk about that SMS tab. That's basically for your registration. So you sign up with SMS, it's activated in your system. And then once it's activated, you're going to have to fill out a business information form, designate someone to contact them, and they're just going to verify that you are not a spammer and you are a real person. Then you'll select your outgoing phone number. And then once you're able to select that outgoing phone number, you're able to build these templates out. So you may not be verified completely yet, because that could take up to 2 weeks, just fair warning. But you can still build out your templates and have everything ready, set, and all you're waiting for is that go. So we have the ability to do that. You'll do it directly under templates. Again, SMS is just registration. So you'll go under your templates, and then you The biggest difference is you're going to fill it out the same, but your type and your base template are going to be plain text because we can't use HTML in your text messaging. So you're going to pick plain text. But look at this down here in the message. Dynamic content is still available for your SMS messaging. So you can have those personalized messages where it pulls that information from the reservation. So let's take a look at creating a template together really quick. And I want to show you just how easy this is. So this is going to be our LiveRez Ignite system. Is that what you're seeing on your screen, Alonda?
Yep, I'm seeing it.
Perfect. So you're just going to go to your main menu, drop down to settings, and head over to your CRM as you would as normal. We're going to look at this SMS tab. This is going to be just where you are filling out your business contact information. Nothing else happens here. So we're going to head to templates, click new. We're going to give it, oh, here, I like what Alonda said. Mid-stay clean. SMS message, description. You can just copy that right on down. Now, when we get to the type, we're going to go all the way to the bottom and click plain text. It fills both of those fields out for you. Now, it's going to tell you that you can go ahead and edit this. So I always like to change this one from the client's full name to dynamic content, client to their first name. It's a text message. Let's keep it casual. You also want to be cognizant of how many characters you're sending because there is a limit, and I do believe it's 240 characters is the limit for your text message. So we want to keep it short and sweet. Nobody's going to read a novel. If I get a novel sent to me, it's one of those I'm like, oh, this was supposed to be a memo, not a whole novel. So we want to keep it and say, so, dear client first name, remember you can get a mid-stay clean during your stay. Please give us a call to schedule the cleaning. Something as simple, short, and sweet as that, because some people may not even know that that is an option that they can get. So just like Alonda said, track and sand in, maybe they're frustrated. They've grabbed the broom out of the closet and they're trying to get it up. I have done that so many times during vacations because I didn't know mid-stay cleans were an option. So it's a great way to get that out. You can add additional text blocks, but I don't suggest that really. Just keep it short and sweet. You'll click save, and now you can see that little preview of what your message is going to look like, which I think is super cute. So, dear John, remember, and that is how you create those SMS messages. It is very, very easy. Now let's talk about automating those because you're not sending them all one off. They are going to be able to have the ability to be automated. So that way you can create the message and set the conditions and it will just go out. So you're going to do these automations exactly as you would a regular automation for a work order or for a CRM message. You'll set that up and you'll see here the only main difference is on the category, you will select SMS messaging. If SMS is activated in your system, you will have the ability to do that. You are still going to have those things that make this important, how you set those. You'll have the date rules where you can set that this goes out on, before, or during a trip. And how many days are we going to wait for that? Is it going to be the same day? Is it going to be 4 days in advance? You're also going to be able to set the validity still. So you can set those min max nights. You can also set if it's going to be a guest booking, owner guest booking, government booking. And you can also select the restrictions in the booking sources that you've created. And lastly, you can still put send out conditions on these automations for text message saying that you require the trip to be fully paid or the rental agreement to be signed or the rental agreement not to be signed. This is going to be a great way for you to send out those quick text messages that say, hey, client, your rental agreement's not been signed and it really needs to be signed like before you check in. So you can have that go out 3 days before if the rental agreement isn't signed and set that condition. So this is going to be great because you have all those great CRM conditions that apply to your SMS.
I love all of that, Katrina. Those are all such great things. And I have to share another story. And I know we don't like to talk about staying in hotels because we all want to stay in vacation rentals, but we all have ended up staying in a hotel occasionally. And how many of you have received those text messages after you check in from the hotel concierge? And that is something that can be automated to your guests just to check in. And I have to say that it gives me peace of mind knowing that I'm going to be taken care of, which is offering that real time customer service. Additionally, you can set up an automation to send out reviews and get that instant feedback to add to your website, increasing that visibility to potential guests. You're also increasing guest percentage by sharing promotions that can also be automated to be sent out, and just constant check-ins with your guest, which is great. This is going to create the resolution on customer complaints. This is going to lead to higher reviews and ratings and feedbacks. Additionally, are you talking? Let's talk about emergency notifications too. That's another thing that can happen. If we can set that up in the system to be sent out. I know that some of you in marketplaces that have hurricanes or tornadoes, what were we talking about, Katrina, yesterday? Flash floods in the Midwest, that sort of thing. So we
Yes.
about getting those sorts of things automated as well. Honestly, it's just the world at your fingertips with text messaging and just being able to manipulate the system in a way that is going to work to your advantage in your marketplace and with your guests. And now we're going to talk about what's on everyone's mind. How much is this going to cost us, right, Katrina?
Oh, yeah, I know that's my first question. Anytime someone tells me about something, I'm like, how much does it cost?
Exactly, exactly. So the startup fee is $150, which we can talk about as we gain interest. And then the ongoing cost is going to be $1 per month per unit, which is a deal. And that's the sort of thing that can also be baked into owner's fees as well. And we can help get that set up.
Absolutely. And if you're interested in getting SMS for your system, if you think it's something that would benefit you, you can definitely contact our success team at success@liverez.com. And they're going to be able to help you get set up with that. They will also get you assigned to a partner guide, just like with your migration. And you will have somebody who is there with you from the start to the finish of that integration and onboarding with the SMS. It does take about 2 weeks for your verification to fully go through, but it is a smooth process that we have streamlined from beginning to end, and it does work effectively. So please contact success@liverez.com, or feel free to reach out to myself or Alonda and we can get you pointed in the right direction.
Definitely. We're excited to get everybody on board.
Yes, and I want to open the floor to questions. I know that we've thrown a lot of data out to you, a lot of information. So let's see what these questions are and we'll help get them answered. So we got a question, Alonda. Can we schedule an alert for a guest ahead of time? Example, HVAC filter change happening 2 days from now and sending an alert to the guest effective that the technician is stopping by to change the filter. Caitlin, you absolutely can. So it's just like those automations. You can send it out ahead of time. So you can go ahead and automate that, have it send out to anyone who is going to be in that area, and it will send out. Yes.
That's a great question.
Really, it is. Working in the field, you'll get the best questions because you've had everything happen to you. Are we able to send out mass texts at once to all guests in our platform if we are running a special? So we cannot do the mass texting at this time. That is something that we may have in the pipeline. If you're running a special, you can send that out to them based on the reservation event.
That's good to know.
Right. And I said, I assume this is just for Ignite, correct? This is for Ignite and your LMPM systems. V1, if anyone is here who is on V1, V1 is still using its text messaging. This is just brand new to LMPM and Ignite. Any talk on a digital guest guidebook to link to the text message? Not at this time, but that is something that we can put on the radar, Caitlin. We can always submit those enhancement requests to make this better, because honestly, this is why I love these webinars where we can interact a lot of, because we have to hear from our partners. Because remember, without partnership, it's just software. We hear from you and what you want, and it helps us put things on our roadmap to make this better and make this feature what you want this feature to be.
Just to circle back on Caitlin's question, I believe there is a company, an integration called TouchStay, that does offer a service that has a digital guest book or guidebook that may be interesting to our partners. Are we integrated with TouchStay? I think we are, aren't we, Katrina? Do you know?
I will have to double check on that.
Yeah, but TouchStay is a great vendor, great product.
Yeah, I will definitely double check on that so we can know for sure. Make a little note. We got a question. Is this just one-way communication from us to guests, or can they respond? That's a wonderful question. And I am happy to say that they can respond to these text messages. It is a two-way communication. And these messages here, you can see in the Ignite dashboard, if you come up here to your unified inbox, you can go in and view all. And you're going to come in here and you will see that we'll just hit any so you can see it. Now you are going to see here that we have emails, but this would come up as a cell phone image, and it would say it's an SMS response, and you can respond to that text message right from here. John,
Really good
I
questions.
agree. Yeah, John says we use Rubaroo for our digital guidebook. It would be great to have it as a direct feature in LiveRez instead. John, I agree. I think that that would be a phenomenal feature for us to have, because that guest book really does pull in business. So I'm going to put this as soon as the webinar is over. Alana and I are going to work together, and we're going to go ahead and put that in there. We use Rubaroo currently for Ignite, any talk of an app to communicate to the guest on the go. We do have an admin app in the pipeline. That is something that is close on our roadmap, is to have an app for you to be able to. I do not know for certain if the on-the-go communication, I know there will be some kind of communication you can do. I just don't know the specifics. But please be patient. You will see some really cool things coming out with announcements soon. And Jean, is there a phone app for texting? There's not at this time, but you can remember your LiveRez Ignite system is all URL based here. So with that URL, you can come in and you can just go on anything and pull it up. So that way you can text them. Yeah, you're welcome, John. So great question. What would the number be that it is coming from? Currently, our guests are able to text our actual office number. So it is going to be a masked number. So what happens is after your registration is approved, it's going to tell you to pick a phone number. You will type in your your area code, and it'll pull up a list of numbers. Find one close to your number is what we suggest. You will not find your exact number since it is in use, but it'll be one that is certainly close to your phone number. And if you want people to have your actual office number, they should be able to find that on your website. You can always send them a text, SMS message and say, hey, here's our website if you would like to check it out.
I love that. That's a really clever thought too, because often I get text messages and they appear to be spam because the area code doesn't really look anything like one that would be from my area. And I oftentimes will not look at them as quickly as I might from one that would be local. So that's a good observation to take advantage of.
Absolutely. And they have a ton of numbers from what I've seen that you can choose from. So you can have it close to your phone number. You can have it away from your phone number if you just don't want people bothering you. Or if you're a smaller business and you're using your personal cell phone and you don't want that to get out to everyone. So I do see that happening with some property managers. I love the guest book guide idea. That would be so beneficial. And it would tie in with that text messaging as well. I'm excited
Yeah.
to put that enhancement request in.
Well, and I think that with the guide like that, it's helpful for the guest to review before their stay too, so that they can be prepared as far as services that are offered, things that are amenities within the home, that sort of thing, or just planning ahead as far as activities. But there are definitely a lot of options to go that route that we can discuss that can be in Ignite, but then through other integrations as well.
Yes. And I do want to take a moment to let everyone know that we do have a step-by-step guide in our help center. So this will show you step-by-step what you need to do to set up your SMS. There is a lot of information in there, but some of it you're probably going to skip over, like how to make a template or how to make an automation. You may just look at a little bit of it. So it is a pretty detailed document that John Owen and I worked on to make sure that you had all of that information. Okay, Dan, that's a great question. If a guest were to text us at 1 a.m., for example, with the question, can we have autoresponder staying? We are closed. We will respond during business hours. Please check our website and auto response to direct them to answers. That is something that we do not currently have, Dan. Unfortunately, that's only going to be for those messages that come through the website. I can definitely put an enhancement request in for that as well.
That would be great.
Absolutely. Any other questions?
Well, I do want to take a quick moment to thank Bill Morton out in the crowd. I did just see your email, and so we'll be reaching out to you shortly to get the feature process set up. So thank you for your interest, and we definitely look forward to hearing from many more of you regarding the setup and getting this ball rolling. It's very exciting.
It is. And it's something that everyone, since we did make the transition, this was a huge gap feature that we did not have in Ignite. You know, you had SMS ability over with V1. You come to Ignite, you did not have it. LMPM did not have it either. So within the LiveRez umbrella, we have gotten SMS for everybody. So please remember that you do want to reach out to success@liverez.com if you are interested in SMS messaging. If you have questions or you feel you need a little bit of training on it, you can always reach out to me, Katrina.Montgomery@liverez.com. I am the lead of our training department, and I will be more than happy to assist. Right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. This was absolutely wonderful. And if you have any concerns, questions, comments, reach out. And I want to beseech everybody to enjoy this beautiful day that we have today.
Super fun spending time with you all, and especially you, Katrina. Thanks for all the work that you put into this. And to echo what Katrina said, you can also reach out to me if you have any other questions, alonda.miller@liverez.com. Super fun, and we can't wait to hear from you all and get those texts flowing.
Thank you, Alonda, and thank you, everyone. Have a great day.